Cavaliers, stunning victory last night.
Said they had a chance.
They had a chance.
And they took it.
They got beat by the Heat, and they beat them last night. Overtime victory, 125-119 against Miami. I'll tell you what, that BJ Frickin' he's got something going on with that team.
He's 2-1 in JB Bickerstick.
JP Flickerstick. He is whipping these guys into shape. So whatever HR Puffin stuff's doing over there, he is doing it. LP Stickbite, he is doing a fantastic job.
I think that might be my favorite.
PJ Birkenstock, congratulations. You have, I was reading that Tom Izzo reached out to John Beeline after he left the Cavaliers and he hadn't heard back from him. Just a professional courtesy, you know. He's like, I didn't hear back from him.
Hey, I heard you got paid a lot of money to not do your job.
Hey, I heard that you gave up $12 million because you wanted to get out of coaching the Cavaliers. Think about that. I would rather give up $12 million than continue to coach this team after 54 games. That says something. I don't know what that says. It says something. Somebody of Beeline's caliber. So, overtime upset last night. Tomorrow night, they will take on...
Yeah, I'm sticking it out if I'm him. I'm waiting until they...
Fire me,
and I'm like, well, I'm getting every penny.
But that's why everybody said that he went out like a man, because he took himself out rather than dragging it along. If he knew he was no good for the team, and he gave up $12 million, that's why everybody's giving him these.
I think it was the right thing to do. I'm just saying, $12 million.
It's like filing for a divorce before your partner does. It's like, listen, this isn't working out. You can have the 12 mil. I just need out immediately.
It's the old line. Divorces are so expensive because they're worth it. Take whatever you want.
I don't care.
Get me the hell out.
I can't wait 5 more years.
Yeah. So LP Stickbite is doing a hell of a job over there with the Cavaliers. Bill is firmly in his camp. Tomorrow night, they'll take on the 76ers, Furkan Korkmaz, and the Philadelphia 76ers.
That's his...
Right?
I think he did a pretty good job there.
It sounded like one of those name generator tweets, whatever you just came up with.
He's Turkish, I think. His name's Furkan Korkmaz.
Yeah.
And then you go to, who else they got? Al Horford. Who's over the 76ers? Moses
Joel
Malone.
Embiid.
Yeah.
You got
AI.
Ben Simmons. No.
Charles Barkley?
No. Very retired.
Well, they'll always have Furkan Korkmaz tomorrow night, 7 o'clock. Here in Cleveland at the Romo Fijo. You got a couple of days left to get yourself something from the Cleveland Clothing Company. If you want to use the promo code HEART, there's 29 days this February, and so you can use that for 20% off all the way to the end of the month. And then I'll have a new word for you, of course, when March kicks in. I don't have that yet.
Lucky.
So I can't tease you with it.
Shamrock.
Lucky. Yeah,
Green.
maybe. Green. Shamrock. Clover.
Ooh. Pet.
Green. Pat.
Irish.
Reuben.
Irish.
Madness.
Oh.
Hey.
Go the basketball route. Hit a madness in there.
Yep. Right, because you can't call it the big game. Super
Big
Bowl's a
tournament.
game. March Madness is like the month of madness.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
gotta-
Madness
Month of crazy basketball times.
Oh, my goodness.
Crazy basketball times. Guys, it's CBT again in Cleveland. Crazy basketball times at the Romo Fijo. So, Cavs Sixers tomorrow night, 7 o'clock, here on WMMS.
Sixers are very beatable on the road. Is it going to be here in...
It's here, I think.
At the Romo Fijo.
Yeah, I believe so.
I think you're right. And they're pretty bad on the road. So we can keep this thing going.
Okay.
JB Bickerstaff can go to 3-1 as a head coach.
All right, well, is he a young man? I mean, compared to John Beeline, everybody is.
Yeah. I mean, I think he's like late 30s, early 40s. His dad was a coach for many years.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, he's one of the youngest assistant coaches in the league because of, nepotism.
What did
But he knows what he's doing.
What did Furkan Korkmaz's dad do?
Oh,
Anybody have any ideas?
I think he worked with
Taffy?
Mozgov in the beet fields.
Oh.
I don't know.
All right. Maybe his dad is a taffy magnet. Maybe he made his money that way.
And why would you say that?
He's from Turkey.
Is turkey known for taffy?
Turkish taffy?
Turkish taffy?
It's delicious. You never had Turkish taffy?
Never had Turkish taffy.
Oh my God! You
saltwater
haven't
taffy.
had. I'll tell you what,
Is
Bill.
that where they get the
Is it like a
saltwater
doorstop?
from?
You haven't had.
Doorstop of taffy?
Depends on how much you eat.
Turkish taffy is like the brand. You never had Turkish taffy?
No.
Oh my gosh, say it one
Taffy is
more time.
not a big staple in my diet.
Yeah, you don't have a lot of taffy.
No. It's not
I feel
a
like
big-
Taffy is also like an old-timey girl's name that you don't hear anymore. You know?
Taffy?
Here's my girlfriend Taffy. Oh, hello there.
Short for taffany?
I don't know.
I've never
Yeah.
heard of a taffy name.
And like it wasn't in like old
Taffadil?
movies or comic books or
No.
something. Here's my girl Taffy over here.
Yeah, I don't know the name taffy.
Short for Taffany, like you said. I think we're alone now. It's just you and me and Taffy. Yeah, I mean Turkish taffy.
This is Taffy, and this is her sister, Rock Candy.
Hello! Which one of you is going to go with who? I'll meet you over behind the gazebo. Yeah, Turkish taffy is a thing.
Okay. We'll trust you.
Please do. There's one thing I know.
Do you have like a bowl
taffy.
of it?
Huh?
Do you have a bowl of it in your house, like an old lady with Werther's?
No, but I'll tell you what.
Just
When I was a kid,
nondescript wrapped candies, and you're like, what is this?
I think they have
Oh, that's
since.
Turkish taffy.
I think they have since changed their recipe. But when I was a kid, the tangy taffy, the strawberry tangy taffy.
I don't even know what this is.
Oh my God, Bill knows. You know tangy taffy. Like they sell it in little shorter sticks now, but they used to have like these long
Laffy Taffy.
I know, I've had Laffy Taffy.
I don't know, no tangy taffy.
tangy taffy. It came in grape and strawberry. It was like a long flat plank.
Yeah.
They still make it.
Yes, it's called Laffy Taffy.
No. That's a different thing.
Are you? Is it like
But
a
that's how it comes. It comes in a long, flat.
Yeah. Well,
Laffy Taffy is small?
Yeah, but there's larger ones as well.
I've never seen a full-sized Laffy Taffy in my life.
they're bigger
They
ones.
exist.
Really?
Yeah. But tangy taffy, you can still buy probably from Sweeties, probably carries it, I bet.
Yeah.
And when I was a kid, it was in grape and strawberry, and I think they probably changed the formula. You know how like some cereals taste different now because they just make them with maybe
They got
artificial
rid of
sweetener.
the
or-
rid of the artificial flavors that they were using. They started
No
using
more.
real flavors.
There you go.
High
like
fructose corn syrup.
Like for a while, Trix was using only natural dyes. And then after a while, they're like, you know what? We're going to put the regular dyes back in there, the weird ones
Yeah.
that make them pop with color. Because when you're eating these gray-looking berries, it's
They don't-
gross
yeah,
and no
weirds you out.
kid wants it.
All you hippies said you didn't want the artificial stuff, but guess what? Now you're not buying our crap anymore. We're putting it back
Yeah,
in.
because hippies aren't buying Trix.
Say hello
They're
to
buying
Red
grape nuts.
DNC number 5, hipsters. No, to me, Laffy Taffy, there's something that's too plastic about it. There's a consistency or a taste.
Makes me drool.
Tangy Taffy.
Whenever I eat Laffy
Delicious.
Taffy, my mouth is full of saliva. I'm just like, just can't like drool down my own face. I'm serious.
Full of saliva.
Yeah.
You know, you can't run from your own saliva.
I know.
I believe
That's-
Poundcake said that.
Laffy Taffy's, I love this song.
What song?
D4L.
I don't hear anything.
Swallow your saliva.
I don't hear anything. I don't know what you guys are talking about. Anyway, Tangy Taffy. It's so
Shake
good
That
they didn't
Tangy
have to
Taffy.
come
You know
up
that
with
song?
it. Huh?
You know the song Shake That Tangy Taffy?
Tangy Taffy was so good they didn't need a stupid song. They didn't need a club banger to
No.
remind people of it.
Is that song about
I miss a
vaginas or
bubblegum. You miss
wieners?
a Chico stick. I wanna da oh, cause she's so thick. Come
Is it about the
in.
vagina lips? Is that the Laffy
The
Taffy?
Laffy Taffy? I don't know. It's kind of whatever you want it to be.
In other candy club banger news,
Tootsie Roll.
anyway, Furkan Korkmaz, all right, with the Philadelphia 76ers.
The heir to the Turkish Taffy.
Turkish Taffy throne. Yeah, I don't know if he is. The taffy's not hard to make. It whoops, too much marshmallow. Done, I'm a
It's
millionaire.
made from marshmallow?
Yeah, I think so. It's like egg and marshmallow, right? Isn't that how taffy was accidentally invented?
I have no clue. You know a lot
You
about
know a
taffy,
lot about
man.
taffy.
You're
You're
like
like
him
me
with
and
his
jeans.
jeans. Yeah.
Bill has his jeans. I've got my taffy. What do you want?
You watching what's the Mark Summers show?
A taffy-mentary?
Unwrapped.
No, I have seen it. Not in a while.
Is that where you get your taffy knowledge?
No, Bill, I am steeped in taffy lore. All right?
Did you take Taffy 101?
I did. I took, yes.
History of taffy.
Yes. I dated a girl named Tafina. and she was from Istanbul. It was Constantinople. Now it's Istanbul.
So if you have a date waiting in
Constantinople,
they'll be waiting in Istanbul.
they're going to be waiting in Istanbul. That's right.
Even old New York was once New Amsterdam.
That is true, too.
I don't know why they changed it.
Something to the Turks. Leave that to the Turks?
It's their business. It's nobody's business but the Turks.
Nobody's business but the Turks.
There you go for 8 people that get these references.
Who cares, right?
Yeah.
The Kobe and Gianna Bryant Memorial was in Los Angeles at the Staples Center.
I thought it was going to be
Named such, little known fact, it is named that because it was built using staples instead of your traditional joists and brick and mortar and joists. Yes, it was used.
Only staples.
Well, not only staples.
Mostly staples.
They initially called it the Mostly Staples Center.
Yeah, and they were like, we should probably shorten this up a bit, yeah?
Let's not draw attention to this. Say what, Poundcake?
I feel like the branding for Staples Center is the only thing keeping Staples in business.
No, that
It
was
might
easy.
be.
I thought it was going to be at the L.A. Coliseum because they said it would be like a huge, crowd.
Yeah, but they played at the Staples Center, yeah?
Yeah, I think it was at the Staples Center.
Yeah, I know, but I thought they wanted, as many fans as possible because they didn't want the streets of, downtown L.A. is already crowded enough. And this was like a huge, would never come again, and hopefully in someone's lifetime.
You mean a memorial for their death will not come twice in their lifetime?
No, I'm talking about L.A., a loss this massive,
This big and this...
and this tragic.
Got it.
So they didn't want the streets crowded or people crowding around because it would be a safety hazard. But
They had a lot of basketball players, and then they had Jimmy Kimmel.
Were they close?
I mean, when
He cried when he talked
yeah,
about
when
him.
Kobe first died, he did like a whole half hour on Kobe Bryant. They must have known each other. I mean, the extent to which Jimmy Kimmel got
Was
upset.
he the one who
he-
told the story when they were at the party?
That was Jimmy
Jimmy
Fallon.
Fallon.
Jimmy
Yeah.
Fallon.
And he didn't
Okay.
get that broken up, but
He got a little choked up.
I guess so.
There are hundreds of murals painted by artists who were inspired, not because he's a basketball player, but because Kobe was an artist too. And not just in LA, across the country, in Kobe's hometown, Philadelphia, in Italy, New York, Phoenix, Boston, for God's sake. In places where
What
you
is that,
would
because Celtics fans hate the Lakers?
Yeah, I think so.
So even in Boston, they cry. Yeah, I see.
be booed on the court, Kobe is missed. Even the great Boston Celtic Bill Russell wore number 24 and a Lakers jersey to yesterday's game.
I mean, to be fair, I feel like Jimmy Kimmel's an easy crier, too.
Yeah.
He cried about that lion. But he had a sick kid, too, so that probably that probably rewires your brain when it comes to stuff like this.
As I've gotten older, I'm a much easy crier than, I cry a lot more, or at least get on the brink of crying.
Yeah, you were
a lot
getting upset
more.
about your birthday.
I got
cried
upset about
on
my birthday.
air.
Last night, I didn't cry. I just got close.
Doesn't it feel good? To just
No.
let it all out?
No, because
It
I
just
didn't, 'cause I
feels
didn't
so
get the
good.
What, it
letter
was
all out.
psychotic?
Let it
No.
all out. Let it go.
We've worked very, very hard to suppress our feelings, all right?
Yeah, well.
Don't try to walk me down this primrose path of doesn't it feel good to pay less.
You know what's missing
Go
from
ahead.
your
Because
sleeves, Alan? Your heart.
I actually cried a lot more when I heard about Kobe Bryant's daughter dying.
Yeah.
So that was a real cry where I actually let out a lot of tears. I
Yeah.
was like, yeah.
Like a sobbing.
Yeah, I was
Real
like,
life.
I had a big cry over the weekend as well. I had to sit down and have a talk with my dad about how I felt with comedy and him not supporting me in the past. And I had to do it because I'm afraid he's going to die. That was it.
So it was about your dad or you?
Well, I was like, I have animosity built up towards you, and because I'd be like really short with him every time we were on the phone and stuff
What
like that.
precipitated this conversation?
He came to a show and it stressed me out so much that I was like flipping out before my show. Because,
When was this?
Friday. He came to my show in Lorraine, and I was like so stressed and felt so much pressure to do well because I knew that he hasn't always been behind like the comedy portion of my life. And so I had to sit down and have a talk with him and be like, man, I'm holding on to a lot of feelings. I know it's not your fault, but we had like this big, long heart to heart, and I was sobbing and blowing my nose. And it's a good one. You got to get those feelings out,
No,
man.
it's good. It's very
you
good.
You were mad because he didn't support your comedy dreams?
We didn't talk for 6 months after I dropped out of school. He wouldn't speak to me.
Oh, I see. What
And
you
then
mean.
after that, it was always, you're driving all over hell for no money, you're going out of state. And even up until as recently as like a year ago, 2018 was the first time I went on the road for like 10 days and paid my bills solely with comedy. Mm-hmm. And he cussed me out and was
Meaning like you made your landlord laugh and that took care of your rent?
yeah, it was really crazy.
I see.
And he didn't like that. He was like, you shouldn't be pimping out like that.
And I can't
know?
give you change.
Right.
Yeah.
But he was, you're going to get fired from your job. You keep taking all this time off. And that was, the last conversation. We didn't talk for a few months after that as well. And then kind of getting this gig and then getting a little bit more recognition in town and him seeing people come out specifically for me at shows has changed a little bit over the years. But I've held on to that like, well, screw you, dude. You didn't support me when I was doing the open mic in a hot dog place. You don't get to come watch me at Hilarities, like that kind of a thing. So we kind of talked all those feelings out.
Wow.
And I had a very massive, you never supported me when I was starting, where you can't even talk through your tears kind of a thing.
Yeah, I don't know about that.
You had to have had one. When's the last time you had a breakdown like that? Like a hardcore crying breakdown?
13.
Are you serious?
Probably. Yeah.
That's crazy.
Why would I do that?
To get it out. Unless
Get what out?
Unless you're not holding on to things, then
Well, I'm holding on to plenty of things.
I'm saying that doesn't
How's it
like,
going to benefit me or the other person?
it doesn't like build up in you and you feel like you have to get these feelings out of you before
Nah.
they start to affect other parts of your life negatively.
They're not going to affect other parts of my life.
I don't know how you can be so compartmentalized.
Extraordinarily disciplined.
And you're okay with that.
Look at me.
You look okay. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, hell yeah.
Sort of.
Other than the facial hair.
Yeah, other than that. Other than the way you physically look.
Whenever we get into serious talk and I look at I'm like, oh yeah, let me tell you about the last time I cried. It's just, it doesn't matter because I have a bowl cut, so I can't be serious with it.
But you said like now things are starting to get to you and you're starting to speak your mind a little bit more. And
Well, I
and
mean,
be,
there's certain things that I just need to speak up more and just kind of like let people know what I want in certain situations. But I also don't like the way you need that approval of your dad. I've never had that relationship with my dad because we've never been close.
Right.
So it sounds like you and your dad were actually pretty close for a while.
Yeah.
And me and my dad have always been kind of just, we've lived together for a while.
Acquaintances.
Yeah, my dad
And
doesn't
then I
even
moved
know.
out.
My dad doesn't even know I'm gay, and he thinks I work on the fish.
the fish.
No, A, yes,
he-
he does. B, no, he doesn't.
Well, we have never had the conversation that I'm gay. So and last time we did speak, he was like, "Oh, well, one day you're gonna be married and you're gonna have a wonderful girl and you're gonna have kids." I'm just like,
How does your dad not know you're gay?
because we never had the conversation. I
But
see
don't
him-
you imagine that someone else has told him, Cody's gay?
I would imagine someone else
I mean,
told him that I didn't work on the fish. I worked on WMMS.
Like the Christian station?
Yes. He's like, what are you on?
Well, if he doesn't know that he's gay, he doesn't want nothing to do with fish.
Right.
Hi-oh!
There he is.
So yeah, don't feel so bad. Like people have all these conversations. Like I don't feel one way or another towards my dad. Like I don't
But you
love
never
him or I don't hate him.
You never had a relationship with
Yeah,
him,
but
really.
everyone's relationship with their dad on the show is very different.
But I feel like that's even worse because like he's just a person to me. It's not like he's deceased where I can't have a relationship with him. He's there. He's readily available, and it's just like meh.
So
But
when-
also,
okay.
whether or not your parents support what you do, you still got to do it.
Yeah, but
You're not doing it for them. You're doing it for you.
well, that was the other thing I brought up is that I told him
yeah,
I
you're
was
living
like,
for me.
I am living for me. That's very true. But I was like, there when he comes to, and he's like, "What do you want me? You don't want me to come to shows?" I said, "No, but up until this point, when you do come, I feel such a pressure to do well because if I don't do well, you're going to be like, you gave up pharmacy for this, you gave up a 6-figure job to do this, and you just." Ate a butt on stage. You know what I
gave
mean?
up.
Like,
You gave up being the highest paid person at CVS.
Right. Well,
for
that's what I'm
showbiz.
saying.
Yeah, but anybody would give up their job for showbiz.
yeah, well, I was
They
also
would.
explaining, years and years of struggle. If I didn't do those free shows and I didn't bomb like that, then I wouldn't be doing well now. I wouldn't have people coming to see me. I wouldn't be crushing rooms or whatever.
Yeah, it's a process.
Alan, I sobbed like a baby at Avengers Endgame. You people are lunatics. You are all lunatics.
13 is the last time you had
Lunatics.
a real let it all out cry.
Well, I'm being facetious, but enough where I can't tell you when the last time that was.
You
As
don't
an
think that's a
adult
little
man.
bit unhealthy?
I don't know. Who's to say? Why would I need to have a huge... And at the end of that,
You feel better.
Yeah,
Do
it's crying
ya?
healthy.
Yes.
It's crying healthy.
Absolutely.
Crying is so healthy.
I'm not saying it's unhealthy.
I didn't know
I'm saying
medically it's healthy.
Well,
It's like it releases stress and tension and things like that.
if it is a poison inside you, then yes, I guess you should do that. I don't feel that way.
I can't.
Whatever I've kept down, I've gone to shrinks over the years and whatever, and I end up stopping because I'm like, all right, you're not doing anything for me.
You think that's because you're not allowing them to?
Oh, I'm fully in. I don't half-ass therapy when I'm going.
Yeah.
But it's like, I'm fine. I technically don't need you to do that. I'm paying someone to hear me talk about whatever. Come to the conclusion I don't really need that. So, it's neither here nor there.
Right.
My question is always, what did you gain from that?
Well,
If it was just a physical catharsis, then you didn't need your dad there.
Well, no, I needed to explain to him why I'm short with him and how
Yeah.
I'm still holding on to these things. And that's why every time you call me, I try to rush you off the phone because I'm annoyed with you. I don't want to
Isn't
talk
that
to you
how
about
every
this.
phone call should go?
Well, it's always because he'll call me and be like, "Hey, what are you doing today?" I'm like, "Nothing. What's up?" Like, that's it. Like, get to the point. Why are we talking? And he was like, "Why do you always do that?" And I was like, "Nothing. I'm just driving. I just need to, And then it was like, actually, it's because for 8 years I've been holding on to these feelings that you don't.
Just
believe
because
in
your
me.
dad wasn't down with you quit, because it's not about comedy, it's more about quitting school.
Well, it's not even about because he wasn't down. He was outwardly against it. Did not speak to me for months. Like, told me I wasn't going to do anything. And
that's the beauty of the struggle, baby.
Well,
there's no struggle if everybody's going, yeah, you do it.
Right.
Everybody wants affirmation, but there's no struggle in that.
Yeah, if he had been supportive, you probably wouldn't have kept with it. You'd be like, oh, I did it a few times. My dad was happy with it, and now I'm back to pharmacy school.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah. I mean, it's nice you had that conversation with your dad.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm saying, so things like that, and for me personally, I can't, it's not a secret that I can't hide my emotions.
You are not somebody who should keep things bottled up.
No, because then if I do, I will explode and it'll seem like it's coming out of nowhere. So I'm like, you know what? We're going to talk about this now because this is how I'm feeling and I physically can't keep it in anymore.
There you go. I understand.
And I think that's an easier, personally healthier way to process things, to go through it as it's happening. He can't touch it to see how loose it is. And we have that discussion night of.
Right.
You can't touch it to see how loose it is. You got to get in the Laffy Taffy. When other people do it, it weirds me out, but I can touch my own face first.
Oh, man, yeah. Okay, listen. Good. Well, I'm glad you guys had that conversation.
Yeah.
Anyway, doesn't do anything for me, but I'm happy for you.
Yeah, maybe you'll cry one day.
Maybe. I'm sure something will happen.
Right.
It's not beyond me. I have cried before, but if you say, when's the last time? Because you're talking about a breakdown.
We crossed a bridge in our relationship.
I don't know that I've ever
thing.
done that.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay, hey, Rolling Stones, closer to 4:20 when we get back here. If you want to run with us at the St. Patty's Day 5K, it is March the 7th. If you want to run the 5K but don't want to pay the entrance fee, we'll get you and a friend hooked up for that. 35192 if you want to text, or alancoxshow.com for everything else.
The Alan Cox Show on 100.7 WMMS. And everywhere you go on our free iHeartRadio app. The world of music gathers on